Hey guys, Ryan here, and in today's video I want to talk about the importance of playing to get better versus playing to get results, and I also want to talk about the difference between how I can spot a good player versus a bad player just by watching them for 10 to 15 seconds. Let's start with the playing to get better versus the playing for results thing now. When you're watching this background guy, he's gonna die unfortunately to some dude just camping in a corner like a little rodent, and that's okay. That's just Warzone. This game in particular, Warzone 2, is really bad about this, and the only thing I could recommend is maybe just pre-aim a little more, especially don't sprint around corners like that. But there still is really no reason to predict a guy to be sitting in that corner, so I can't blame this guy. But now this guy we're gonna spectate, guys. I need you to pay attention to how many people are alive. It is almost a full lobby. It's like over 100 people. First circle hasn't even closed yet. This guy has one kill. He's sitting in some random corner in the absolute furthest corner portion of the map, away from pretty much everything. And how long do you think it's going to be until this guy gets into another gunfight? Because I can guarantee it's way longer than you think. This guy goes 7 to 8 minutes without getting to a single gunfight the entire time. 7 to 8 minutes, guys. And listen guys, I'm not trying to trash him for playing like this. If he's just playing for fun and he really, or she, doesn't care about getting better, well, that's not something they should be concerned about. They shouldn't feel bad about that. However, if you're watching my videos in particular, you probably are trying to get better, because that's kind of the whole point of my channel. And that's why I really want to stress, guys, you aren't going to get better by getting in one gunfight in a 7 to 8 minute period. You're going to get better by constantly exposing yourself to new gunfights and not being afraid to fail. A lot of people are afraid to die because they think that if they die, it's a bad thing. And yeah, it sucks to die. I get frustrated all the time, and I'm a good player and all of that. But you have to realize failure is the catapult for success. You will never get better, you will never improve unless you fail and are willing to fail repeatedly on the process of getting better. If you don't embrace that mindset, you will never get better. And if you are just looting random buildings, running at the edges of the circle, trying to avoid almost all conflict, you are not going to get better as a player. I'm not saying in the end game when the circle's small that you have to sit there and, rush around and whatnot. No, play smart, try and get the win. But don't spend 7 to 8 minutes, because I can guarantee what this guy does is this is almost every game for him. He probably has almost never had a double-digit kill game. He's probably almost never ever been close to a 20 kill game. And what he does is he gets in very few gunfights when he hops on, and he wonders why he's not as good as people who play all the time. And I'm not saying you need to play all the time, but just understand that a big part of building muscle memory and getting good is actually just having the actual reps and being exposed to these new things. And by playing like this, you aren't even giving yourself the opportunity to get better. Don't play just to get wins. Play to get better. If you play solely for the results, what you're going to do is you're going to get frustrated based on the results. You're going to get upset based on the results. And this game, there's too much RNG. There's too much luck factor. When you have 150 people on a map this big and you're factoring all these random things, there's too much luck. You can be the best player in the world, and sometimes there's nothing you can do to survive a situation. And that's what you need to understand. If you aren't focused on getting better and you're only worried about the results, you aren't going to have fun. You aren't going to be able to play the game long term, and you aren't going to get better. I think another good way to put it is if someone like me can watch your gameplay for 7 to 8 minutes and I can only find one gunfight to help you actually improve on, that's not a good thing for your overall ability to get reps in and to get a lot of experience with things that are going to make you a better player. I think that's an easy way of putting it to make it understandable for people. I do want to move on to the whole how to spot a good player versus a bad player, because this is something a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of it just comes down to speed of their actions. A good player will do everything a little faster, and you're probably thinking I just mean movement speed, but I don't. I mean decision things. When they're at a buy station, they go through it quicker. When they grab their loadout, it's done much quicker. When they rotate, it's done faster. When they find space to reload and plate, it's done quicker. And I could go on and on and on. It's not just that they're quicker in game, because they are. Their movement's better. They know how to cover more ground than you. They know the little movement mechanics make them go faster. But on top of that, they also just think quicker. They make decisions quicker, and they don't have wasted time. For example, when we watch this guy in the background right now, watch how long it takes him to just buy things at this buy station. Now just wait. Here we go. It's been 5-6 seconds. He's got his gun. And what is he doing now? We don't know. But it's been almost 10-15 seconds and he's got a UAV. But wait, he's got to go back now. And now this is almost 20-30 seconds. Guys, I am sorry, but this is not a sign of a good player. And then what does he do? He calls in a UAV. I don't have the audio of the gameplay, but he hears people near him, and this guy is so scared. He's so unconfident in his abilities. He relies solely on the ability to get the drop on people to get kills because he can't win a straight 1v1 gunfight. And look what happens to this guy. He's crouching up on this dude, has the full drop, and he gets destroyed. You know why he just got destroyed like that? Because this guy spends 7 to 8 minutes every game running around looting instead of shooting. Stop looting and start shooting. And then we go to this guy, and this guy's jumping around corners. He's just booming and beeping and bopping, and he's clearly a good player. And this is what I mean. Within 10 to 15 seconds of me watching both those players, I could instantly tell you one is a bad player, one is a good player. If all you did was show me the footage of this guy after he killed that guy, and then showed me the footage of that guy before he got into the gunfight with this good player, I would have been able to almost predict the result in the way it played out. One player is so much obviously better than the other just based on how fast they move. Look at this guy. He goes to the buy station and he's out within way less than 10 seconds. He bought a gun, he bought some stuff, and now he's moving. He's grooving. But look at it. He's sprinting, guys. He has purpose. This guy is moving with intent, and he's clearly a good player. In fact, I want you to focus on the fact that, yeah, he's going to grab some plates and whatnot, but he's not wasting his time looting, really. He's going to come up here. He's going to look out windows for people, guys. This is what I mean by stop looting and start shooting. It doesn't mean you always have to be in gunfights, but it means you have to be looking for the opportunity to shoot. Because if you're spending your time with your nose all up in the duffel bags and the cases and all up looking for plates and money, then you aren't going to be having your eyes on your enemies, and that means you aren't going to be looking for enemies, and you're just running around waiting to be stumbled upon by some dude like myself who's looking for kills. You're looking for loot, I'm looking for kills. There's a huge difference in the way we're playing it, and one of us is probably going to get way more kills and have way more wins than the other, and I promise it's not the person looting a ton. The other thing I found interesting with this guy's gameplay that I do want to talk about is there is a distinguished difference between good and great players, and this guy falls actually kind of right in between. I wouldn't say he's a great player, an amazing player, but he's so clearly better than the average player that I have to say he's obviously a good player, but realistically, he's lacking a lot of little things that you see the very best players in the world, and a lot of you guys don't actually watch the best players in the world. The best players in the world are people I've played in the 2v2 tournaments you don't watch. A lot of the biggest 2v2 tournaments are based on how big you are as a content creator, and that will dictate your invites and your ability to get in these tournaments. A lot of the smaller tournaments that are played for prize pools around $1,500, $2,000, they're filled with players who are actually the best players in the world, because the only way they can survive is by making money off of these smaller tournaments, because they aren't that big in terms of a content creator. They aren't reliant on the thousands of Twitch subs they have. They're reliant on the fact that they win these tournaments very consistently. And when I've taken part in these tournaments, these players are at another level than a lot of the content creators. I've been in games with Joe, with Swag, with people like Face and Tana and all of these guys. I literally have clips of me killing multiple people like that. But the thing you have to understand is the people playing in the best of the best tournaments, the Tommies, the Almonds, the Brawlix, the Foreign Jaces, the JC Babies, a lot of those names you probably haven't heard of. Those guys, they're different. All of their little pre-aims, their timings, they have these little extra things that they have that good players don't have. And even myself, objectively, I've held almost multiple kill records. I've been top 0.01% in terms of KD and other key stats, but I still think there's a decent gap between me and the very best competitive Warzone players, and I do want to work to get there, but I'm a content creator. I do work a job. I coach high school football. I'm not really in it for that. I'm trying to help people, the average player, get better, but I'm still trying to be the best player I can be, but I'm not necessarily trying to be the best player in the world like a lot of these guys are trying to be, and that's something I'm okay with. And yeah, that's what you also have to realize. I've played an insane amount of Call of Duty, and if you compare your gameplay to mine, don't do that, guys. Don't compare your gameplay to the top players. Compare your gameplay to where you were a week ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, etc. That's the measurement stick you need to use. That's the measuring stick that you need to use to actually dictate your progress and how content you are with how fast you're progressing. And that's why I want to loop back to why you need to play to get better and not play to get the results. Anyways, guys, I'm going to start wrapping this video up because I think right about 10-11 minutes is a good point. If I'm wrong, let me know. If you think it should be longer, shorter, just let me know. And also let me know if there's something particular you want me to talk about in these videos. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I am gonna be on vacation in Europe for the next 2 weeks, but I'm still gonna be uploading content. I'm still gonna be making videos. I am gonna be playing the new launch, but I just want to let you guys know the videos might be a little delayed. If you watch some of the gameplay, I'm gonna be on a 60 FPS laptop, so it might be a little different. But I'm excited for the new season 2, and I can't wait for the amount of content I have ready. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. It's been Ryan. Peace.